If the stars were meant to worship, so will I. Sorry. Hey, yo, it's your boy Los. Let's get it.
I'm in my zone. I'm in my zone. I'm in my zone. I'm zoning out. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. I ain't dissing Oprah, but I'm never on my own. But let me say this, I'ma live forever, regardless how my doctor feel. Call it Willow Smith, my father's will. I seen the Lord, and same I'll never be. Some say they seen the Lord, but live on casually. I don't know what you saw, but the Lord ain't what you seen. Once you really seen the Lord, you're obsessed with what you see. Obsession, boy, that's it, right? Love him more than dead life. Wanna know how you can beat poor, let him give you new website. I promise, dog, I want him. Mindset on his glory. I visualize him crucified, both hands wide, 340. Cause I got tunnel vision, yeah, I'm focused on the light. He's with me, can't see a thing, cause I'm focused on the Christ. You can try to kill me, but you can't hurt me. You can bring whoever you want. You'll never break me, won't penetrate once I get off in my zone. I'm in my zone.
Alright, so as you can see, oh, the sun is in the eyes. As you can see, we're talking about KB's latest album, For His Glory Alone, fresh off of Reach Records, and that's no shade to Reach Records, but he's no longer on Reach Records. I believe this album is a collaboration with Sony Entertainment, which is, man, dope in and of itself. Praise God for that. Man, it's dope. This album here, well, let me back up, sorry. This is my second time doing this review. I did the first review last Sunday, and what I did was I heard the album on Friday, right when it dropped, Friday night-ish, whatever, and or Thursday night, Friday morning, and I heard the album all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then all day Sunday, and then Sunday night I dropped a review. So I recorded the review, and I liked what I said, but I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm missing something. Let me fall back and go back. And I'm glad I did, because when I did the review the first time, I just enjoyed the album. I liked the album a lot, but now I love the album. I think this is a phenomenal album. I ain't gonna lie, I've heard all KB's albums, but those that I've heard, this here to me is my favorite of those that I've heard. I feel that I've always been a KB feature fan, right? I've always been a fan of KB when he features on a song. Just haven't always been a fan of KB when he's on an album. I always felt like, and this to be straight with you, I always felt like it's two different KBs, man. Like when he gets on a feature, when he's on someone else's song, I've always felt like he gave it 110%. Like he was just like, yo, I gotta murder this joint, not for self-glorification, but just for the sake of hip hop, I guess. I gotta mash it out, knock it out the park. On his album, I always felt like he kind of got, yeah, you know, I don't know, that might sound bad, but I just never been a huge, ginormous fan of KB's albums. This is probably the second. His very first album was jaw-dropping. But this is my second album where I just said, man, dude is gifted, man. God is glorified in this album. I love this album. Top to bottom. Just about every song on this album just sat with me, and I can't wait to get to the songs in this review that sat with me the hardest, but I wanna take my time with that. Not too much time though. Little Boy, although it was a single, I didn't listen to the single, didn't watch the video if there's a video, but I didn't listen to the single, waiting for the album to drop, and I am in love with that song because of what it stands for, what it means. It is a checking of the heart for these young men who feel that they are grown, but yet he's pointing out through the song things that you were doing that grown men are doing that little boys actually do. Playing with women's heart, being more content with just having a job as opposed to being a boss of a job, kind of on that Dame Dash joint. Investments, teaching others to be better than what they are, and just so on and so forth. Little Boy is just a phenomenal song, man. I love that joint right there. After Little Boy, we got my other favorite. What was it? Rain was dope. I think Bizzle did a great job on that song, and this is no shade to Bizzle. I mean that with all my heart. Bizzle did a great job on that song, but the song was dope in and of itself without Bizzle. You know what I'm saying? This is probably the first time I heard Bizzle on a song, and I thought to myself, he didn't need to be on that song. You know what I'm saying? Like don't get me wrong, his bars was nice. I loved it. I loved what he said. Everything he said was on point, and I think he fit with the song. But I think KB handled the song beautifully without Bizzle. You know what I'm saying? Like usually when you got a feature in a song, it's one, it could be your homie, whatever you want to reach out. But a lot of times people catch me like, yo, this song is missing something. I didn't feel that Rain was missing anything. I felt that he handled that on his own. Although once again, I think Bizzle did his thing, but I just felt like they didn't need him. But I liked the song a whole lot. Armies was dope, man. Dope song. Enjoyed that a lot. Okay, I'm rushing. Okay, I'm gonna get to my point. Sorry. Man, okay, so Masterpiece. Whew, that song touched me, man. Now, for one, no disrespect, no shade. I asked my wife, I was like, can he sing? Like, cause I like this voice. I thought he could sing, but I was like, I wonder was anybody else feeling his singing. I think he did a great job singing. I love the fact he didn't try to go, ooh, all that sounded bad. But, he didn't try to go, go too far. He didn't try to do more than what he could, what he was capable of doing. He just stayed in his lane in the singing part. And I enjoyed that. I respect that. And I think he did a great job just carrying those notes he did. But what he was saying as he's talking to his daughter, I love he didn't say his daughter's name, because that gives me the opportunity to look at my two daughters in their eyes and in a sense sing or just play this song to them, let them know they are a masterpiece. And I loved what he was saying, because in this generation, society that we live in, women feel that they are not beautiful or not great unless they look like this person or hold this level of whatever. But I praise God that in this song here, he reminds women that they are beautifully and wonderfully made in God's image, and they don't need to have all this, that, and the third to be seen as great. They can be seen as great now because of who God is. And I sat there and I listened to this song over and over again. I just left the gym bumping the whole album one more time just to get a better feel for something else. And this song came on. It's not a gym song, but I felt myself just like, man, I want to hear this song, and rejoicing in hearing this song, because it is a beautiful reminder to women that I don't care what social media tells you, God made you beautiful and unique in who you are, and rest in that. Love that song, man, for real. And my other song, man, is Dark Skin. That one hit me hard because, so he makes reference to the fact of his daughter running from the sun because she don't want to get any darker, and his daughter in the pool trying to wash, the blackness off her in a sense, right? So we haven't made this public yet, but I guess I'm doing it now. So a while back, we're at the house and sitting on the bed, and my daughter comes sit next to me, and for whatever reason she comes next to me, she just kind of grabs her skin. She's doing this. And I look at her and I said, "Mama, what are you doing?" And she said, "I'm trying to get this costume off." I was like, "Costume?" I said, "Mama, that's not a costume. You're black. That's your skin. That's what God made you." And the look on her face was just like she just couldn't grasp the concept for whatever odd reason, right? And so I later on that night tell the wife, I was like, "Hey," I tell her jokingly, because I'm not thinking much of it, and I say, Livy did blah 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 blah. And my wife kind of stopped for a minute. She said, it's funny because the other day we was sitting on the couch and we was watching cartoons, and she started pulling at her hair. I said, "Wait, what?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, she felt that her hair was a wig, and she thought under the wig was her naturally blonde, long hair. And I just kind of look at her and I was like, okay, so let's get this straight. She thinks that her dark skin is a costume and her black hair is a wig. And I was like, okay, we might have an issue here. And so here's the reality of life. Where we live at and where we lived at a while back, the Lord's been financially very gracious to us, right? And so we had a nice home in a very nice neighborhood, but everybody around us was white. Like the only black people that was around us was like, a few streets, blocks away. So everybody around us was white. So my daughter, she just grew up around solely white people. Now she saw, my friends here and there. When we went to Columbus, Georgia, visit folks or whatever. But for the most part, all she saw was white people. And then I think, not to be funny, but Barbie, most of the Barbie shows, the cartoons that she watches, they're white people. And I think My Little Pony is white as well. And so You know what I'm saying? She just, all she saw for the longest was just white people. And so she just automatically had the assumption that something was wrong with her because she don't look like them, right? And so my mother-in-law had something pop off with her, so my wife went down and took the girls with her to visit her to help her whatever she was going through. And my mother-in-law goes to an all-black church, all-black church. And while she was there, one of the girls, my daughter saw her and said, "Oh wow, your hair is so beautiful." And the girl looked at my daughter and was like, "You have the same hair as me." You know what I'm saying? And it was an eye-opening moment for my daughter. And by God's grace, she has been slowly but surely coming out of that mindset, right? So I said all that to say, I enjoy and I praise God for the song Dark Skin, because it was a beautiful reminder for me to remind my beautiful daughter that who she is and who God has made her is beautiful. God uniquely made her who she is. She is dark for a reason. Her skin tone is not better than, or definitely not lesser than, anybody else's skin tone. And just this song almost made me cry, because the visual of his daughter in the pool trying to get her skin tone off and running from the sun not to be darker. I sat there in the car just like, Lord, this is a real life issue. And I praise God for it, man. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go too far with that, but I just praise God for those two songs there off the rip, man. Praise God. Anyways, but the album is dope. We Right Here is a phenomenal song, great gym song, great. I mean, it's funny. I was saying, like, listen to that song thing, man. If I play in the NBA, man, I definitely have that song playing right now. Give me hype for the game and everything. I just really enjoy. Man, I just really enjoy this album, man. I think this was just a beautifully well done album that glorified the Lord, that makes much of Him on a secular label. So it just proves that you can be a Christian. Yeah, you can be a Christian. You can glorify God wholeheartedly, yet be on a secular label. And I just love it, man. I just really enjoy his heart, his desire to want to make much of God, his desire to want people to become saved and to see God in a different light. I enjoy that about KB. I enjoy, and the impression I always get from him is that he doesn't rest on his skills as if his skills are what's going to save anybody. You know what I'm saying? I've always got the impression from KB that his mindset is and has always been, it's the gospel that brings forth salvation, not how dope I am on the mic. And this album here just is another testament of that. The Yes song, man, just kind of had me. I'm in the gym wanting to put my hands in the air, yo. It's like, you know what I'm saying? For real, like, it's just dope, man. I am definitely impressed by this album. Usually one thing that happens where I use when I do my reviews, because I hear the album a bunch, right? Before I do the review, and then after the review, like, okay, I'm good. Then I don't want to hear that album anymore because I done heard it, I done played the crap out of it, right? And I'm hoping and praying that I don't do the same with this album I do with most albums, because I really want to play this album more and more and more, because I really enjoy not just how hype it gets me in the gym, right? Not just how much I bounce as I'm listening to it, but what he is saying really hits home, man, and it's really important. And I just think that we'll miss the beauty in this album by because the production is so dope. And it's not bashing on anything, I promise you. I'm definitely not saying take away from the production, but I can see, and like I said before, I can see how someone could hear this album and miss what he is saying because the production is so dope. Those two songs, they really hit me, man. They really touched my heart, man. I'm trying to just, barrel through this, man. But when you have daughters, man, and they grow up in a society where they are made to feel that they are less than because of what people say they lack. Kind of touch your heart, man. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, this is a phenomenal album. I think you will be, if you don't buy this album, and I said before on certain album, I'm saying it wholeheartedly, please do not stream, do not borrow, do not copy this album. Buy this album. Spend the bread, necessary bread needed for this album. Oh, Libre? Boy, that yeah. Second verse, obviously, I don't know what he's saying. He's Spanish, but talking about his wife, man, I love that. 10 years, I think it's 10 years down, something like that. I don't know, 14. He's been out for a minute. Man, I love that song. I love him saying about lock and chain. Basically, he's cool with that. You know the whole saying about dudes get married, whatever, they get locked up with their wives, whatever. He's like, okay. It's like, that's not an insult to me. I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? You're not smashing on me by telling me that. I love my wife. I'm good where I is. And I love that. I love that song. It's just a dope song about his love for his wife. This album has had a lot of growth, man. So this was it was a very trap heavy, you know, dope hip hop lyrical song, but a mature trap heavy dope lyrical album. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a kind of album that you honestly could sit back and listen to and just enjoy with any and everybody. Like, my kids can listen to this album, I can just sit back and be like, praise God for this album, where there's moments where we can sit there and sing and to the top of our lungs. At the same time, we can bob our head, or at the same time I can go into the gym and just get it, you know, try to pick everything in that bad boy up like I just tried to do. Pretty sure I hurt myself. No, I'm playing. But yeah, it's just you know, a good album, man. Dope album. I'm very much impressed. And that's funny because I'm not a overly trap beat dude, man. I'm more of an East Coast backpacker, and so I was shocked at how much I enjoyed this album. I was very, very shocked with it. Yeah, but anyways, man, I'm going too long. End of the day, dope album, man. Salute my guy. Praise God for your heart, man. Please keep pushing forward, trusting the Lord, resting in Him, even on this label. Man, I look forward to, man, all that God has for him. Anyways, go get the album. Stop playing. Like, share, subscribe. You know the routine. All right, y'all. Grace. Man, dope album.